give at Marks with Mike's podcast a shout out. Shout out!
Hey, yo.
What a maneuver! Mamma mia! Are you kidding me? The irresistible force meeting the...
Yo, you already know what it is by the sound of my voice. That's right, your boy, Mr. 6'9". JT, back in his piece. Once again, of course, I am rolling with the co-host, L. Cheech.
Yo, we back at it again. Another episode. First of all, I want to send a shout out to my daughter, Zoe. Happy birthday. God bless you. You know me. Let's get it.
Man, let's get it indeed. Happy birthday, Zoe. And of course, we are rolling with the unofficial, official intern / co-host, Mr. Casanova. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot, man. You know, just chilling, taking everything one day at a time, enjoying life, keeping them positive vibes going as usual.
Most definitely. Speaking of positive vibes, we got to send some positive vibes out right now. Got to say R.I.P. to the legend, DJ K Slay, okay, the drummer king, okay, Mr. Slap the fuck out of your favorite DJ, slap the shit out of your favorite DJ. DJ K Slay is responsible for breaking so many artists, including 50 Cent. Of course, we got Pat Poos. He was a pioneer inside the game, period, from graffiti to DJing, Shade 4-5. My heart, my thoughts go out to his family. To the loved ones of DJ K Slay, definitely rest in peace to him, and continue to lift up his legacy, man. Because if it wasn't for him, we would not have a lot of the artists that we got over these past decades. So big ups to him. Rest in peace, DJ K Slay. But we definitely have to go ahead and talk about it, man. Last week was a whirlwind of wrestling. You had AEW going on at 7 o'clock for Rampage. You had Battle of the Belts on Saturday. You also had Dynamite, of course. You had NXT 2.0. You also had Raw. You had SmackDown. You had Deonna Purrazzo retaining both of her titles on Impact. You had so many things that went down. Of course, we got rumors of news. Make sure you do this for us. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, whether that be IG, Twitter, the Book of Faces, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, or there be any podcast platform, from Spotify to Apple Music to all the way down to, of course, Amazon, Spreaker. Look, we everywhere where podcasts are available. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. But let's go ahead and kick it off, man. Last week, Raw, we had a couple things that did stand out. First and foremost, Cody's first time wrestling on Monday Night Raw since he left. He went up against The Miz. A lot of people had an issue with it. Me personally, I don't see the issue. What did y'all think about that match? Personally, I do like the new intro that they're doing for him, because I think that coming up from underneath the stage ordeal should be saved for big moments, big premium events. But what y'all think about that?
I don't think they got no other choice. You know what I mean?
No, of course not.
Presentation. So I think it's kind of clever. You know what I mean? They had to make some adjustments just for Mr. Cody Rhodes come through.
Hell yeah, man. I think, like I said, the only time we probably gonna see that is at the big premium event, SummerSlam, these big stadium shows that's coming up, all that. That's when we're gonna see that, and I think that's the right place for it. But what you think about his first showing out there on Monday Night Raw, Mr. Casanova?
I mean, hey, they made each other look good. I mean, Miz has been in the company for more than a minute now, so he knows how to put somebody over. I mean, granted, I'm not a Cody fan and never have been, but it was a good match, 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely was good. He came out. He gave his belt to one of the kids inside the audience there. Said it was his birthday. So shout out to him, man. Doing good things, doing big things. Another thing that popped off from Monday Night Raw, we had a lot. We had a lot that went on, and I think the biggest thing was, it looks like we're gonna have a tag team title unification. That's what it looked like. That's the match that we got presented with for WWE WrestleMania Backlash. So it looked like we want to have a title unification. So we we had a lot of, we had a lot of champions in the building. We had the Usos inside the building, representing SmackDown. We had RK Bro representing Raw, of course. You had Street Profits trying to get in on this. But first, what do y'all think about this? Because we got the brand split, or do we have the brand split? We unifying titles. Like, what's going on? LG, tell me something, bro.
Bro. They cutting the cost. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they get the roster's gonna get smaller. And I think it's not the best thing, but like since they don't have a lot of in the roster, it just only makes sense. But by the they trying to make a move, when it comes to selling the company, man.
So you think the selling of the company is a for sure thing?
I mean, and now by everything, little things that's coming out, that I'm hearing, and it seems like it's most likely a thing that they will sell, but it's just who wants to buy it. How bad do they want to buy it? You know what I mean? So I think the pressure's on.
Okay. I feel that. I mean, personally, I think the House of Mouse will probably be the one to buy it. If not Peacock, I'm sorry, if not NBC Universal or
Yeah,
Fox, I think the one that's gonna throw the most money would be the House of the Mouse, man. I mean,
yeah.
they got all the bread, and think about this aspect. WWE is full of characters. Just
But
imagine
that
go ahead.
and that's the reason that you didn't see no. You know what I mean? It seems like you might have seen blood at Mania. When Brock took his gloves off and all that stuff. That didn't happen because they trying to clean up, let's say, as much as they can. You know what I mean? So that's why you don't see no blood. You don't see none of that stuff because they trying to clean it up so they could sell it. But it seems like NBC might be the one um, with the upper hand due to their already relationship, and they trying to create more content for Peacock. I don't know if y'all heard about the Undertaker coming up. You know,
Yeah. The Undertaker is gonna have his own podcast on Peacock. Shout out to him. So we ain't heard that in a minute. But my whole thing is it's like, okay, people gonna tune in regardless. But what do
hmm
you call this podcast? Do you call it From the Grave, Last Ride, Dead
Dead
Man
man,
Talking?
yeah, it had to be Dead Man talking. Come on,
So it's
man.
so man, there's so many different ways you can go with this. If that pop off, just know that this is gonna be big. This is gonna be
Yeah,
real
yeah,
big. And you talking about Broken Skull and the Undertaker podcast on Peacock? Man, listen,
yeah.
I don't think nobody touching that.
Yeah,
Nobody.
definitely. But touching on that. But yeah, the unification. I think it's better like that with this one belt. Because it seems like more of a structure of who is who, even though they don't have a structure. You know what I mean? Because let's face it. We got like the second baby face on the woman's side. Will be Alexa Bliss. You know what I mean? And she's not even on TV, so they don't got that together, so neither will they have the tag teams.
Mr. Casanova. What's your thoughts?
Well, once the Usos do win the belts and unify them, Randy Orton's probably going to turn on, his buddy Riddle, or it might be the other way around. You don't know. So I'm saying, like, we were talking about the whole company being sold. All I'm saying is, I hope it gets better, like the product wise, with like Raw, because Raw's been like the B show now, as it used to be the A show. But if it really is sold and it doesn't happen to stay in the McMahon family, or even we'll just say the Helm, the Triple H family, whatever you want to call it, I just hope
The
they bring
vet.
back like some WCW vibes, man. Because like personally, if the company goes under after all that shit that happened all them years ago, I'm still gonna say a WCW should have won if WWE gets sold to somebody and they completely like take it all away.
Nah, once you see at Universal a WWE ride, you know it's coming. That's next. Arrive at Universal Studios. And if Universal get that, they're gonna get the rights to have that. Remember, like that Hall of Fame, physical Hall of Fame been talked about for years. What a better time to actually monetize on that. You know what I mean? They'll have the rights to all that shit. They'll pull the trigger because they see what the business doing right now.
I'm just saying I hope they don't fuck it up any more than they already have because, like I said, WCW, in my opinion, now after looking back on it, had the better product. Like ECW is what made everything hardcore between two different shows. They added that extra, like, bang to both shows. So now that WWE bought out everything and now they're about to be sold, I mean, it just better get better and there better be no more flops within the company and the shows.
The fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
I felt it. I felt it in my soul. No,
What? No.
I feel what you're saying, but I don't know about WCW being the better product. Like I agree. I agree with the yes. They need to make sure that everything, from here on out is smooth. Clean up what they need to clean up.
I'm just saying they were cutting better promos before The Rock became what he is. They were cutting better promos in WCW before Stone Cold became who he was. So WCW was on top of the promo game. They were on top of the content game. They were actually beating WWE, formerly known as WWF, in the ratings. So when Paul Heyman was in Vince's pocket, that's what changed the game. So all I'm saying is, like, they had the product better than WWE until WWE got the upper hand, or we'll just say foreign objects came into play.
Okay.
They brought the steel chair in there and just like smashed it over WCW's head, and then that was the end of it. Then they owned
Fuck these kids.
then they owned both companies, and that was the end of it. So all I'm saying is I hope WWE's products become better because it's never going to go back to the way it was. I just hope it becomes better for like Raw because Raw's been flopping in my opinion. I mean, they have some moments, but it's not like the dynamic is not there.
Okay, I'll give you that. Then we had, of course, Tommaso Ciampa making his official Raw debut, and he runs into backstage Ezekiel and Kevin Owens. So my whole thing is, I like where this is going because I can already see this. This is going to be a big nemesis for Kevin Owens. Now, my whole thing is absolutely. It looks like Ezekiel's going to be the face. That's just what it's going to be. But
don't you mean grown up Nicholas?
Grown up Nicholas, Stu Pickles, whatever you want to call him. He's definitely going to be the face in this situation. But you were showing me something inside the chat. What was it? Walk with Ezekiel or something like that. Like, do you think that's the next thing they're gonna pop off with this, or do you think this whole thing between Kevin Owens and Ezekiel will blow over by WWE Backlash?
I don't think it's really going to go over like they're planning on it. Personally, I think they never, used Elias to his fullest potential. Like I think he had it, like he had that whole dynamic with the crowd. He had to pop every time he came out. Everybody would say, "Walk with Elias." Like that shit would echo throughout the whole fucking building. Like it was there, but I don't know why they dropped the gimmick because it was great. Like I was a fan of it. Like from the time it started in NXT, I thought it was going to be great. Like he should have had a bigger title, in my opinion.
But was that gimmick meant to get over?
What, the walk with Elias?
I'm saying like the gimmick was Elias' gimmick was meant to get over.
I don't think originally it wasn't planned to get over, but I think it did with the crowd.
That's the problem. Whenever something get over that they didn't have a plan, Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett. I got some bad news, bro. That was money, but it was getting over. Right.
But I think it's because of how some of these people had creative freedom. Like I believe Vince does write most of the shit, but I think he's starting to ease up the reins on giving people creative freedom. So he's letting more people do more shit in his later years of life, as opposed to like, we'll just say like 20 some years ago where he's like, nah, fuck that. It's going to be my way or the highway. He's being a little bit more lenient on what he's letting people do.
But then at the same time, it's the last. He get the last call. So
I mean, but look at Randy Orton. Randy Orton goes off the script all the time, and it's been said for years that he just does whatever he wants and he does not give a fuck because he knows he can get away with it. And even Vince lets him do it now because he's like, why keep fighting it? Because he's actually putting out great content, even though it's not what, Vince necessarily wanted from the beginning, but it's working, and that's why Vince is letting it happen. What you think, JT?
Well, I do think that there's some type of freedom there, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like this. If something's not meant to be in its the place that they have the structure for it, then yeah, eventually they're going to take it away. May not be right away, may not be within the next month or so, but it's something that's going to happen. Now, Elias was an awesome gimmick, but like before, we said he was never meant to be the over person. You were supposed to boo him majority of the time. I mean, the only time he got heat is when he would talk about the city that he was in. But other than that, it was pops every time he was in the ring. It wasn't quiet. So I think this whole Ezekiel thing will get over, and we'll see where it goes from there. Far as the whole dynamic of it, because Kevin Owens and Ezekiel is going to be money. Like I can see these two. It's definitely money. But besides that on Raw, I mean, we had a lot of tag team matches. We had Sasha going up against Liv Morgan. Liv ended up getting the pin, um, and I kind of see what they're doing with this story. Um, but I do like this. I do like all the tag team action that we're getting on here. I'm just curious to see what they do with this unification and if it's going to be a real unification because the story is going out there that the titles are unified, but they're not unified. Like Roman Reigns can choose to defend the Universal Championship when he wants to, or the WWE Championship. Will it be the same thing with the Raw and the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championship? So we'll see. We move on from there, and we had NXT 2.0. And I'm going to tell you this right now: NXT 2.0 definitely slapped. Okay, that
Oh, yeah.
that slapped. That definitely slapped. First, I mean, the elephants definitely in the room here. I mean, they had to do a tag team gauntlet to crown a new tag team champions. And honestly, I I was not a big fan of the initial decision, but of course, we know why it had to be done. But we got these pretty motherfuckers right here.
those are Young Bucks.
That are young bucks.
Yeah, you didn't see the Young Bucks. They changed their bio and they put it in the back. The profile. They put their pictures, but they trolling.
I mean, they do look like the young bucks. I'll give you that. No,
Well,
they kind of
I
like Billy the
mean,
Billy.
I think this was garbage personally because they were building the Creed brothers for weeks on end, and I believe they should have got it. Yeah, I know they brought these guys up from NXT UK, whoop de fucking do, but just because these guys did a couple run-ins as like the masked assailants or whatever, I mean they should have not got the championships. They should have gave it to the Creeds because the Creeds were literally like fan favorites for all this. Like you literally heard the crowd like getting behind them on every match that they were doing after they started becoming more of a familiar face within NXT. So I think they kind of got done dirty because they just had everything going in their corner. But who the fuck knows why they changed their minds on them? But it is what it is.
I don't know. Like the Creed brother dynamic. Like I understand, everyone getting behind them and everything like that. I mean, that's the whole purpose of doing this build that they've been doing with them. For eventually, when they do catch those championships, it's going to blow the roof off the place. But I think that the decision to put the titles on the the tag team here from the UK. I always forget the name. But I think the decision was a smart one. far as putting it on someone else that you didn't expect, because if you give people what they expect, then at the end of the day you become predictable. So my thing is with that being said, I mean, you don't want to be predictable with the product. You don't want the product to, you know, you all right over there? Sound like you dying, bro.
Oh shit, my bad.
Good stuff.
No, but no, I think honestly, like this is going to be a big thing far as building a new team, and also putting more eyes on NXT for the tag team division, because let's be real, like on both sides, like when you look at the main roster, there the tag team division has been trash. I mean, that's because they haven't focused on it. So with them not focusing on it, and not pretty much giving it that bill, which you could look at AEW's tag team division and look at WWE main roster or NXT, and it's like AEW blows that out the water. So
In, in what sense? On paper?
for, on paper, I'm saying on paper, like having actual tag teams. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
And but then when you look on the WWE side, there's very few, and then it's even fewer in NXT. So it was a smart move putting the titles on Pretty Deadly. But what do you think about the surprise with them being the ones to win it? They'll cheat.
Um, I didn't care, to be honest. It just
It's like I
it
don't
was
give a fuck.
it was like, oh, what do you know? You know what I mean? Pretty much everybody's getting shifts from UK over here. You know, which is good, I guess, for them. They get work, but I wasn't too thrilled. You know what I mean? Like good for them. I could care for who would have won. Because to be honest, all the tag teams down there suck.
Pa! Just like that.
Yeah,
So
they yeah. I don't know. Like they just don't do it for me, man.
I was just thinking the same thing because look at LDF, man. They haven't done shit with those two guys. I mean, they had the titles a while back, and then, like I said, the Creed brothers basically were getting built up. Then they got shit on. It's like there really is no big impact with any of the tag teams in that division. Like they haven't done shit. Like
Yeah,
anytime they have like a war games in the fucking cage and shit like that, that's when the tag teams look fucking awesome. But during the regular week and stuff like that, they don't do absolutely shit with them except maybe have like a match here and there, and then they try to do a clusterfuck of tag teams in one match. And I don't know, man. Tag team division
yeah,
hasn't been good on there in quite some time.
yeah. But definitely, big man will be back in a minute. But the bright side, one of the bright sides from that show for me, what I mean, has to be, um, you know, Fatal Attraction.
Oh yeah,
Girls are still popping. I don't know what Sleepyhead's doing back there, but
she's
hey,
getting her shine on.
oh man, look, I want that onesie. That shit look dope. You know? Yeah, man.
Got that whole tie dye thing going.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like what they doing with them. Not they only like, of course, eye candy, but they're entertaining to see. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't see her dropping that belt anytime soon either because she's pretty much the one that's making the women's division look great.
Yeah,
Until they build up my girl Nikita Lyons, which basically she got her fucking head kicked off during an interview, like it's just like plah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that
I
episode
don't
of
think.
Chappelle Show.
Yeah, I don't know if she's it, but then again, y'all remember Roxy, aka Rocio Perez or whatever the heck is her name now.
Roxanne.
Uh, Roxanne, Roxanne Perez. You know what I mean? She's in the system now, so she had the ROH title. and she's just a prodigy for sure, and perhaps that's somebody that they have lined up next. Uh, Linus, I don't know if she'll get there. You know what I mean? Because it's like it looked like she could do it all, and it's like not a Mr. Perfect like, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
I think
To me,
with her body and the way she wrestles, I think they could put her up against Cora Jade or something like that and let them go a couple rounds together because, I mean, they're probably about the same weight and I mean they're both fresh in NXT, so I think they could probably do something for each other and build each other up along the way.
yeah, she could sit on anybody's face for all I care.
Whoa, sir. Whoa, whoa,
Hey
whoa, whoa.
now,
Whoa. I leave for 1 second and we're talking about faces being sat on and come on, my G, don't do that. No.
Oh my god, that is funny!
we gotta have some
but
flavor.
no, real talk. Like you talked about it. You talked about it while I was gone. Nikita Lyons taking that kick to the face by Lash Legend. Like matter of fact, the people
Like Chappelle Show, man, like plah!
I don't know if the people seen it or not, but here's a quick clip.
What you proving now, huh? Huh, Nikita? What you proving now? Absolutely not.
I mean, just kick the shit up. Like real talk. Like I already know. Like backstage, Last Legend was talking to probably HBK, explaining what happened.
I kicked the shit out of him, man.
Like real talk. Like, hey, she Sparta kicked her, bro. Like right out the chair. And like I said, I didn't like Last Legend catching that L the week prior to that. But at the same time, it adds a little bit of what what's the word I'm looking for? That sazon, right? That seasoning.
The
You know what I'm
storyline
saying? Yeah.
element that some of the shows out there on Wednesdays miss.
You know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there, bro. Neither
I
here
don't
nor
know,
there.
but that dress though, man, like all I'm saying is, man.
Yeah. No,
You thought
real
Stacy
talk.
Keebler had some nice legs back in the day, man. Well, look at that muscle on top of muscle. You got all that right there.
She, she definitely out there. She got yams. You know what I'm saying? But
Thicker than a snicker, man.
listen.
Yeah, like it was like literally me and Michelangelo were watching Nikita.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Yeah, it's like
All right. Let's
beautiful.
get off. Let's go and get off thick of the wagon cream boat, and let's hop on to Natalia and NXT.
She beat
Like,
the shit out of her, man. She made her tap and everything. Like she was trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna be like the locker room leader, and I'm gonna welcome you here because you idolized me and this and that, and then all of a sudden, snap! That was the end of that.
yeah, that I was already expecting. It's Natalia. Like, come on.
But
And
that
this
girl is
the
like thin as a fucking toothpick, man. When she clotheslined her ass, man, she flew backwards.
well, if you're getting clothesline, you're supposed to fly backwards. But my whole thing is this: it's Natalia. We already knew this was going to happen. First of all, that's the loudest I've heard the crowd for Natalia on any show in a while. But I will say this: um, I do like the idea because it was brought up a few months ago that we would have some of these main roster stars going back to NXT to help put eyes back on the product. Which I thought was cool. That's a cool moment. We'll see what this does. She gets to run through the women's division, or get the chance to elevate some of these girls, get them over. So that'll be good to see. We also got to see what was it? Rick Steiner's Hall of Fame ring get melted down. Like that's kind of messed up, yo, right? Like, I just got it. Y'all just gonna kidnap me, melt it down. Like, it could have been me. Like, Scott Steiner probably just watching it. Like, couldn't it be me though? Like, cause I don't think Scott Steiner would have went down quietly. Me personally, but it's Rick. Y'all gonna try Rick. Y'all can try Rick, but y'all running up on Big Papa Pump like that. Big Papa Pump.
Shit.
Shoot. At all. That's not happening.
I mean, I hope they do something more with Gacy instead of just give him the Jigsaw, the serial killer, like from Saw vibes, because I mean he's got that bad guy shit down pat. But I'm hoping once they actually do get in the ring more together and start doing more vignettes and stuff like that, I'm hoping they build him more as like a badass and he actually gets a couple of ones in on Bronson. I'm not gonna call him fucking Breaker because the shit's dumb, man, but Steiner, I hope he gets gets over on Steiner a couple times because I think Gacy is pretty good at what he does. I just don't think he has had the time to shine yet like he should.
No, he hasn't. But let's talk about this. Solo Sikoa going up against Cameron Grimes, right?
Great match.
Great match, but man, he was popping off at the mouth real heavy. Like, my bloodline, we known for championships, we run shit, and you catch the L. You catch the L. Twice you have caught an L. Okay? Gunther, Walter, whatever you want to call him, and then you caught one to Cameron Grimes. Now, me personally, I know for a fact when Roman Reigns probably catch Solo Sikoa, and the Usos are going to probably be there, but when Roman Reigns probably catch him, he probably going to be like Joe Jackson and probably beat his ass or something.
Break off the belt, man.
Something like this right here. That's the Usos in the back. Come on, he was doing okay.
You understand me? Every step, every note, every step. Now that's the only way you guys will be better than anybody else.
That's the only way y'all gonna be better than everybody else.
You beat the brakes off that ass.
No, but I'm saying though, you're not gonna sit there and talk about the bloodline. Like the bloodline, they know for catching W's, not L's, especially when it comes to that championship. And you just gonna throw the bloodline name out there and you ain't gonna deliver? No, you best believe when Roman catch up with Solo, it's Joe Jackson time, okay? Joe Jackson and Marlon from the Jackson movie. Go get me a switch off that tree. I'm gonna beat your ass, okay?
He's gonna get a solo beating.
Yeah, the solo beating with the Usos in the background. He was doing okay. No,
yeah, but then to follow that up, you had Carmelo Hayes and Trick Daddy come out. I mean, Trick Williams.
Hold on now. Trick Williams and Trick Daddy are two different people, okay? Trick Daddy is the mayor of MIA, okay? He is the CEO and president of Eat a Booty Club and all of that, okay? That's Trick Daddy. Trick Williams rolls with Mello. I don't want anyone to get that confused. Two different people. Shout out to Trick Daddy, one of the realest people ever. I don't know if y'all call him.
Man, Trick Daddy look like a burned Slim Jim.
Hey, hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. You have to back off the Mega 305. You know what I'm saying? No. But no, Trick Daddy just had the Drink Champs, and he's just on the Breakfast Club. Y'all go check that out. But I like that. And then online, Solo and Mello were popping off, on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I can't wait till catch Mello, and then Mello retweets like, bro, I just seen you inside Performance Center, and you ain't do nothing. Like, you popping all these gums, on the internet and on this microphone, and you ain't delivering. So I don't know how this is gonna go. The only thing I know is at the end of the day, I see Carmelo Hayes regaining that championship. I see it happening, but then again, I've also heard that they want Melo on the main roster. So it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into that. But overall,
Carmelo will make a great manager.
not the. They're not gonna give him the Leo Rush treatment. I don't think so.
Well, as long as they don't do what they did to Ricochet. Granted, Ricochet has a belt right now. I just hope that he's not going to be used and abused for like the longest time. He's going to get a couple wins and get his ass handed to him like weeks on end, and then he gets a
He's
couple
gonna
wins.
he's gonna get his own model agency. Watch. They never done such a thing.
What?
Yeah,
No, but
you're gonna have what's his name, L.A. Knight be managing him too next, and he's gonna be wearing some like fucking Armani suits and shit.
Hell yeah.
I want to
Rico
imagine
Suave.
Rico.
Rico Suave.
Yeah,
So what's
stop it.
next on the agenda?
Next on the agenda, of course, is AEW. Of course, NXT 2.0 was a solid show, but we got to talk about AEW. AEW definitely hit on all cylinders. Okay, you had Suzuki going up against Samoa Joe. You had Penta going up against CM Punk. You also had MJF versus Captain Sean Dean. You had Swerve and Keith Lee going up against Team Taz. You also had Marina Shafir going up against Sky Blue, and of course, AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line going up against Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Red Dragon. Yo, they had a stacked card. But let's not even hold y'all. The surprising match that took it away a little bit, and it had a few botches, but it was Penta going up against CM Punk. It's a match that we never thought we would see, and we seen it. We seen that shit. So, what did you think of this match, El Cheech?
Um, Tony Khan, for those to say that he's like the Booker of the Year, like I just want to say,
Your mom's a hoe. Your mom's a hoe.
2 times, 1 time, because it's just how you gonna put a match of this magnitude without no storyline? You just put them together. You know what I mean? I understand, that how the thing go, but like, come on, man, the potential that you have with this match, even if it's like a 3 week storyline, right? But you just gonna give it to us like that, you know what I mean? And like, I wasn't feeling it, and like you said, there was some botches, even though like I like the fact that CM Punk sold it, you know what I mean? He sold the move, and like he got hurt, like he botched it, but he was hurt. And I like how he did that because they kind of took away from it because people was actually concerned if he was actually hurt or not. That was the reason that he missed it. So um
Mm.
yeah, but other than what I mean, to be honest, that could have been a pay-per-view match. You know what I mean? Pentagon, and then Pentagon, you know what I mean? Like he's a heel, but he got the mask, so his faces, and I don't know, man. Like Pentagon have been falling off, bro. El pinche güey no está jugando bien.
Okay. Uh, I'm gonna give it to you, Mr. Casanova.
Personally, I don't think this match should happen at all. At least on a regular show like Dynamite. First of all, Pentagon is a star in AAA wrestling. He's just a legendary badass in Mexico to begin with, and I think him taking the L is not really helping his character, seeing as they haven't really done much for him since I don't know his brother went out on injured reserve or wherever the fuck Ray Phoenix is at. So I mean, I don't think this should happen. I mean, it was a decent match, but just not meant for a weekly show, and it should have had a storyline, like Cheech said.
Okay. I am going to agree with both of you. And I am also going to say this. The match itself, in my opinion, just mine,
Hated it.
that's just me. Only reason why I hated it, two reasons. Number one, it's on TV. Number two, there was no bill. Number three, here's the third reason. The chemistry was okay, but I think that if they would have took time to actually to actually give them some type of backstory and maybe a couple run-ins here and there. Kind of like the same way they did with MJF and CM Punk. They didn't just say, "Here's the match." They gave you a few weeks of build-up. You know what I'm saying? Like before they actually gave it to you. But I understand the reason for doing this. The reason for doing this is to keep y'all coming back to watch the product, which is why we have a surprise signing or a debut every week or every other week. It's to keep eyes on the product, which allows you to have no structure, which allows you to get away with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, like let's be honest. If this type of stuff was done on the other show every week, it would give you no reason to follow along for a story. You only be there to see, I wonder who's coming out next. Like that's pretty much it. But they definitely need, in my opinion, to structure it out because I kind of feel like it was a rush. Like damn, let's go ahead and put a match on the card for next week. And those are the two names that Tony went inside of his hat, pulled out those two names. These are the two that we're going to have on the card. But other than that, it was the highest viewed segment of Dynamite that night. I will say that. But we also had something else that popped up on Dynamite as well. We had the TV debut of Marina Shafir versus Sky Blue. So, what did you think? And give me your honest opinion, Ms. Casanova.
I didn't give a fuck. That's all I got.
El Cheech.
Well, she's one talented gal. She did Bloodsport over the WrestleMania weekend. Out of all the four horsewomen that rock with around the Rousey, other than after Baszler, she was, after Shayna, she was the best one out of them. And I guess an opportunity that she's getting that she should have gotten in the Fed, but now we get to see her go against Jade Cargill and take her belt from her.
I don't know. You think she'll be the one to take it from Jade?
Nah, son, I just fucking.
I was about to say, like, nah, bro. Don't.
Hey, boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
Like, no, don't put that pressure on her like that. Now, speaking of Jade coming through with the baddie section, real talk.
Damn.
The next time, first of all, why didn't Jade think of this before she came to Cleveland? You know what I'm saying? Because when I was at the Dynamite and the Rampage taping, like, I would have liked to see a baddie section for Cleveland, but then again, it was snowing at an event called Beach Break. But
I laughed really hard when I found that out. That was funny as fuck.
No, the baddie section, man. There was some baddies inside that. This gets interesting every week. I wouldn't mind seeing this every week. We'll see what's to come, but when's the next time Jay's going to actually wrestle? It's the real question.
See, here's the thing. Like, when there's a football game on in Cleveland, everybody wants to be around the dog pond. I don't give a fuck about that. I want to sit with the baddies over there. I want to be in that section. I want to sit right next to them. I just want to be right all up in that it's going to be smelling good because there's no way in hell that them women are not going to be smelling good. It's going to smell great. The hair is going to be on point. Everything's going to be on point.
No, listen. This is the baddie section. I think there are a list of requirements before you can even join the baddie section. Like, what I'm saying? Hair done, nails done, everything did. You have to be fancy. But I think the number one thing on there will be hygiene. You can't be a baddie and, smelling like a armpit. Like, I don't see that happen.
When you started talking about having everything did, I was waiting for you to say, "You fancy, huh? You fancy, huh?"
Oh, well, I was going there with it. I was going there with it. the Red Dragon.
Oh,
Damn. I
that
saw.
that was ridiculous, man. I'm sorry. They should have had that. They should have won that match. That was a disappointment. I did not like that.
No. I think I said this from the jump. I did not like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus winning the tag team titles. I don't know if that was the original plan, but we know why that decision was made or not made. Whatever. They got the titles. Um, who better than to take off them than the
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon, the
Didn't
the
quite work out that
undisputed
way.
elite. Undisputed elite is what they're
I
calling
don't,
them. But
I don't know why the Younger Book and the other guy, why they still have the belts. It don't make no sense.
it makes
And it's
it
not
makes
like go ahead, JT.
it makes zero sense why they still have the titles. But I understand, you want to go ahead and build a little bit of lineage behind their title reign. But I think the better option for me would have been to have Red Dragon win that match and then go on to have that meetup at the end between FTR and Red Dragon. With the titles, with them holding their titles, the AAA and the RH title, tag team titles, and with Red Dragon holding the titles. Because let's be honest, if you got FTR going up against Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus at your next big event, but knowing Tony Khan, he may throw that on an episode of Rampage, or probably episode of AEW Dark Elevation instead of saving that for a pay per view. But I think it's an easy like that. That's very predictable. Like at that point, it's like, okay, look, we already know that FTR is going to take the titles off of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, especially if
Hopefully
they
sooner
already
than later. Personally, I mean, I'm tired of watching them have it because, like, I mean, the Jungle Express or whatever the fuck you want to call them. I mean, they're talented, but I just don't think that they hold those tag team championships up to the level that they should as competitors. Like in my opinion, I don't think faces need to have those belts. You need to have someone that's a straight asshole in the ring. Like guys that just have that image that I'm gonna fuck you up and I'm gonna take these belts from you and this is my ring type deal. And that's what FTR is, man. They just got that I'm gonna be a straight asshole to you and do whatever I feel like doing. So that's why they should have had those belts because clearly they didn't do shit with Santana Ortiz. Ray Phoenix is not in wrestling right now.
well,
Who
he's
else do we
still
met?
there.
Well, yeah, but he's still not wrestling though. Who else is there in the tag team division? I mean, they're not really doing nothing with Dark Order. They're not like tag team division qualified. So I mean, who else is there? It's got to be FTR that takes those belts away because nobody else is nobody else is on point with the tag team division except FTR because I mean, shit, they already had what Ring of Honor titles and stuff like that. So they've done everything.
Yeah, I
They're the
mean,
chosen ones, flat out. They need to have these belts like soon. I don't care. They better at least do it properly at like a pay per view event or a premium event, whatever you want to fucking call it these days.
speaking of FTR, they got a match coming up, right? The first time ever, right? First time ever. You got FTR with Bret Hart actually in their corner,
Ooh.
going up against Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson with Arn Anderson inside their corner. So this is the first time ever, like maybe this is a thing that can be an actual.
It's a prelude. Because
That's a pre.
remember, yeah, like they did that with John Moxley last time. Like he was gonna be at GCW and then she showed up in AEW. So
But
perhaps
no.
this could happen.
I
But
don't really
look,
know.
look at the picture though. Look at the picture.
Yeah, I see the picture.
Which
I
titles are
mean,
they holding? A premonition. You see that? So those are actually the AEW tag team titles. Inside the picture. So I kind of feel like another premonition right there. Like that's the way that they're gonna lean. They're gonna make these guys the quote unquote greatest tag team in the world, which is what they've been claiming for years. So I think FTR is going to go over them whenever that happens, right? Then we had another big match moment, right? Big match moment with what was it? Not the ROH Television Championship. Samoa Joe going up against Suzuki. So this match here, mixed reactions. Mixed reactions for the crowd. At one point, people were saying that they didn't know if they were saying that we want Cody or thank you Tony or who are you. Like there were a couple chants going around that people didn't, they couldn't clarify. Like this was going on Twitter. So I don't think it was who are you. They definitely put on a ROH style match, like full ROH / New Japan type match, right? It was a strictly strong style match. At one point, you had Suzuki and Joe going back and forth, giving each other chops, bam, bam, back and forth, back and forth. And my whole thing is, right, just 2 weeks ago, you had Suzuki win your television championship, right? For this new ROH direction, right? And here we are on a Wednesday night, not a pay-per-view, but then again, it is a television championship. It's not the AEW television championship, it's the Ring of Honor championship. So I guess there's an excuse. But we have this title match go on, and you have Samoa Joe come out on top, right? You have him come on top, but why did we have Suzuki win the TV championship in the first place?
Reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained.
Like, was it just for a pop?
What you mean? Why not? Because it was obvious that they didn't want Red Tigers with it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean that they didn't want him with it, but at the same time, you could have gave that man some goddamn TV time. Put him on TV, let him drop the title, but to give him the title, and then less than 2 weeks later, less than 2 weeks, literally, boom, it's on Joe. Which I have no problem with Joe being the champion at all.
He's kind of like the front runner for like ROH. Like he's just the face of the company right now because I mean he was there pretty much for like one of the longest periods of time before he made his WWE debut and did all this shit.
The face is Gresham right now. It's
I'm saying back then. Like back then, he's the face, so it just made more sense to give him the TV title. And Gresham's doing his own thing, so that's what I'm saying. It made more sense for him to have it and take it off of Suzuki because Suzuki's probably just going to go back to NJPW and whip some ass over there. Like I don't think he's going to be hanging around for too much longer.
No,
but Samoa Joe coming back and going for the TV title, like he's been over that. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of.
I know, but just to get him back in, like in the showcase to have something because he's got to get his name. Back to the top of the, food chain in that company. So that's why I think they started him there. And then eventually he's going to build up. So he's probably going to go after Gresham next.
Well, here's the thing, right? Doing the press release a couple weeks ago, for the Supercard, he did mention about taking championships and the ROH TV title was on the list. He also said the AEW World Championship, the ROH World Championship, like these are title names that he mentioned. So it doesn't surprise me that he won the championship. My whole thing is, okay, where do we go from here? Okay, now that he has a TV championship, where do we go from here? I'll tell you where we go from here. We had a debut, an unexpected debut, right? Of this guy right here. The internet has dubbed him or named him Mid Khali, okay? That's MID Khali. Me personally, I am a little bit taken aback by the debut because usually when AEW has their debuts, is huge, right? It's a
Who
huge
the fuck is
ordeal.
this guy?
Especially when you turn off the lights, right? And they come back on. You're supposed to be surprised, but when you do that and people don't have a clue who the fuck this guy is, reports that he was an ex NBA player. Wrong. He was in the G League. He was in the NBA. He was in the G League. But to put more content into all this, he happens to be from, the I guess
India.
AEW about to get into India market and stuff like that. So who you had on the ring also? You had Sanjay Dutt, which he also could speak that language.
X
So
Division
Exactly.
legend right there, man. Like, I mean, that guy did
yeah,
some insane shit in Impact back in the day.
yes. So I mean, it was one of them things that they didn't. I guess they perhaps didn't care about what was the reaction was gonna be. They just trying to, it was a business move, pretty much.
It was a
Cause,
waste of time, in my opinion.
cause like I said, not in the business side it wasn't, but in the booking side, whatever it just didn't make no sense. For that ending to go down like that. It's like he didn't even have chance to even celebrate. What I mean? This is the motherfucking Joe, right? Coming
Yeah,
back.
And he straight up gets clipped right after he wins. It's like, what the fuck, man?
You understand? So it just didn't make no sense. But according to the report, was they going to India, one of the biggest channels over there. So they trying to open up the market over there.
and here's the thing: we gotta at least give this guy a chance, to see how he develops. Of course, it didn't look too nice, the first night,
No,
but
I was gonna say, I don't know if y'all noticed how petty WWE was. That automatically the next day they put top 10 surprises or whatever, and the number one was the Great Khali.
Team Petty on
Petty,
WWE side, but
yeah, Tom
Well, you
it's
know where
Petty.
I'm going with this. I'm not giving him a chance, so I'm gonna say, fuck that guy, and that's where I'm gonna leave that. I'm
um,
good.
I'm not just gonna write him off. I think that it's a chance for them to have a monster. They haven't had a monster that's actually consistent. You
They
know
need to take the
they
mask off of Luchasaurus, let him use whatever other name he used to use on the Indies, and make him a freaking heel. Once him and Jungle Boy lose them damn titles, they need to make him a heel, and they need to have him be like some kind of psychotic, deranged fucking giant or some shit. But I just don't see this mid Kali guy being anything more than I'm gonna come in for 5 seconds, knock your ass out, and that's gonna be the end of it.
I mean, but this is his first ever appearance. Like we haven't seen anything about him. Period. No dynamite. No elevation. No elevation. No rampage. No nothing. So I figured it's just a debut. Let's see how this plays out. Me personally, I would have did vignettes to talk about him, to kind of build him up. That way, when he does make his debut, then it's a big shocker. But in this case, it's like the presentation of the debut kind of gave this opinion of him already before we even got a chance to see him fluster or see him at all spread his wings to see where it goes. Now, I do think they don't have a monster. They don't have a solidified monster, but this guy can be their monster if booked right. That's the big question. But moving on
Me
from there,
personally, me
go ahead.
personally,
But moving on from there, man. We got to go ahead and give a shout out to, of course, Shane Taylor Promotions' own Khan. Khan is all elite. Shout out to Khan, man. Big shout out to you, man. Proud of you, brother. The grind never stops. Grind and sacrifice. So definitely happy for you.
so let's.
Also,
Oh, my bad.
go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
Nah, bro,
I
you
forgot.
stepped.
No, so Dynamite. So we're gonna go straight to Rampage.
Go ahead.
Get this
What about
AEW.
what about the
We can.
MJF stuff that we missed?
I
No, the
mean, though,
MJF. Yeah.
okay,
We could
sum it
touch
up.
on that. Oh,
Go ahead.
Warlow Man, that's the way. If he would have been booked that way 2 years ago, he probably would have been the one of the biggest names in wrestling right now. You know what I mean? He give me that Goldberg vibes. Keep doing those vignettes from the back. You know what I mean? Like he coming in, ripping shit, twist it up. So far,
Running through
money.
people,
Oh yeah, running through people, fucking them up. Just
getting
keep
all
doing that,
Deja,
man.
Lenny Carvel, him, her, bodies.
You got it.
It's like this
I
Yeah,
guy.
mean,
but
he's just standing there all behind the guardrail, like being all statuesque and stuff. And then once MJ turns around, he's like smiling shit at
yeah.
him.
No, it's awesome, man. That storyline like it's been boiling for quite some time, and now it makes you wanna actually watch that match when it actually come goes down.
Yeah, they should have did
I
this like
actually
months ago.
seen a tweet out there, and I should have screenshotted it and saved it. But someone compared Warlow to Ryback,
What?
and I said, um, first of all, um, Ryback out of all people, like that's who you had to, you know, compare him to. Ryback out of all people. Well, to you, sir.
Man, sit your dumb ass down and shut.
First
I
of
think
all,
I think that number one, I can't really speak on what Warlow has. I got a chance to see a few of his matches, but I can't speak on in-ring potential or the future potential. But I can say this: do I think Warlow will be more over than Ryback ever was? Absolutely. Ryback recently said that, he doesn't think that he'll ever get signed to another major wrestling company again. And I say to that, thank God. God is good. Thank you.
but that
But
makes absolutely no sense because he was saying, "Where do you want to see me go?" and kept making all those polls for like months on end. And
no,
everybody
no.
said
But
nowhere.
I said recently he just
Yeah,
said that he doesn't think he's going to get signed, and that
I
seems to
wonder
be
why.
it because if AEW wanted to sign him, I think he would have been got signed. If Impact wanted to sign him, he would have been got signed. I think Ryback's best bet is to be in Cleveland at the next Control Your Narrative show. How about that? That's the only way I see him. That way he can control his narrative. But no, the MJF Sean Dean situation. I mean, Sean Dean just went over MJF again. You know what I'm saying? He got the W. It's not how you get the W, it's by getting the W at the end of the day. So he has the W, undefeated over, of course, the Pinnacle, undefeated over MJF. So I ain't mad at it. But let's talk about this Rampage. Let's talk about this Battle of the Belts. Rampage starting early, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Like, so we just gonna come out the gate and just say, you know what, we're not gonna go head to head with y'all, but we'll go an hour before you. We'll go an hour before you though. What you think about that, Cheech?
You talk about Rampage, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Battle of the Belts was the day after.
yeah, the
Um,
day after. But
I didn't
what
watch either of
what
them till like about an
what,
hour
what,
later.
what you think about that though? Like, instead of me going head to head, I'm gonna go an hour before y'all. I mean, I understand the reason why they couldn't go head to head because you had, of course, the NBA. But
yeah,
what you think about that move? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was a smart move because it's a lead off to like you said, the NBA game. So you're getting eyes on your product, and that's only even better for them, because they get to expose themselves to other people that perhaps don't watch wrestling, that they there for the basketball. So to me, they're in a great position, especially now with the NBA playoffs starting. And they did that. They did the show the next day, but the fact that they had a Texas death match, and there was a lot of controversy. What you guys thought about that?
oh boy. So the Texas Death Match. Ugh. first of all, let's just go ahead and get a quick snippet of what happened here.
Swerve Strickland.
In a match like this, it's hard to really make a game plan, as you can tell. Look at that, in the crowd. Oh, no.
A little brewski across the head.
I can come out.
Oh, good Lord.
The break.
The challenger was it?
Oh,
what a clothesline.
Panama Sunrise Page.
Oh, my God.
And now a barbed wire crown for the challenger.
Uh-oh. Dead eye? No way.
That right there.
Deadeye through the table.
No, I ain't gonna lie. That
It
part
looked
right
like he
there,
came down the wrong way, personally.
Yeah.
It looked like he got hurt.
But yeah, I saw the what was the whole hoopla about he putting the barbed wire crown on him on Good Friday. You know,
that part.
yeah, that part. It depends how you took it, but yeah, a lot of people I guess were offended. You know, a lot of especially that religion. So it's like some people said it. You know, from Vince Russo, from Eric Bischoff, a lot of people had something to say about that. But would it been? It's like Tony Khan's religious beliefs. Is it like you know what I mean? Knowing
They
that
did a crucifixion in old school ECW a long time ago, and that raised a lot of shit. So
no no, what I'm trying to say, you know, his religion, you know, Tony Khan. So they plan to portray, you know what I mean? Like put it like perhaps was he making fun of a religion? You know what I mean? If it's making it fun of religion, you know what I mean? Especially now, you know, but what happened in ECW, that's totally relevant. You know, that's apples to oranges again. You know what I mean? It wasn't on a Good Friday, you know?
And then
Yeah.
and then
no,
again,
the way I see it
ECW.
is everyone gets offended about everything nowadays. So fuck them. If you don't like it, then don't watch. Stop complaining.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I could see how that could be offensive. You gotta understand. I mean, this nation, you know, Christian nation, you see I'm doing the quotations, you know, because of how the whole entire, you know, country was set up, one nation under God, blah blah blah, blah, you know, and conservative television as well. You understand, like
You
it's
got people that you serve to, you know, the people that ads, you know what I mean,
yeah,
and all that stuff that come
and
into consideration. You know, not necessarily people's feelings, it's people's pockets. And that's
you know,
like, you know,
that's the part though. That's you said the main word, the pockets. And I
mhm.
said last week, if you want to hurt somebody, don't punch them, hit their pockets. And that's how this could be a situation where it can hit the pockets. You know what I'm saying?
But
Because
what about what Eric Bischoff said? Controversy creates cash. I mean, make some
controversy
memorable
does.
make
Go
some
ahead.
memorable moments so we have some shit to talk about like later on down the road. Like like everybody still brings up the Attitude Era. There was a lot of crazy shit that happened then. So why not create some crazy shit now so we got some more stuff to talk about in the wrestling history books?
That I understand, but it's more so the fact that it was on Good Friday. And for you people that don't know, Good Friday is the day of the crucifixion. Friday is I'm sorry, and Sunday
And
is the
remember, like
resurrection.
the thing, you know, what I mean, people's religious beliefs, you know, what I mean, not saying like, you know, people got entitled to that, but somebody at the board at Warner Brothers didn't like that. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Uh-huh.
What's gonna happen? You know, somebody with power, you know, stuff like that. The same thing with the Domino's
Yeah,
pizza and the Domino cutter. You know what I mean? It was
yeah.
it was the same thing. You know what I mean? It was the same thing. Like next thing you know, they were about to get pulled. You know, Domino's pulled up from commercial and the ads and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just more to wrestling. You know, more on the business side. You know what I mean?
It is
What they
that part.
criticize.
That part, there is more to the business side. I mean, when here's the thing, you got to look at it like this. They're trying to play. Not I'm not gonna say trying. They're playing in a big field. Okay, you got major money that's being dished out to produce your show, and you know, of course, the person that came out with the win at the end of the day was Adam Hangman Page. But you know, you're getting all this money to produce the show, and you got to please the board. AEW is not a publicly traded company, but I'm pretty sure at one point they want to be. And they are on a publicly traded company's network, which is Warner. And here's the thing about that. I was going to say this for the rumors and news, but we have a potential merger not a potential merger. Like a merger is going
No,
to
it's,
happen.
it's happening. It's happening.
It,
That's
it's not
another thing. That's another thing what you was about to say. That's why they
go ahead.
gotta keep. They gotta, you know what I mean? Keep this shit clean, because
They have to.
it could mess up all this merger thing.
You
I
know,
don't
you
know.
got
I think the
got
way people are
Discovery.
nowadays, man, it's like someone's gonna find a reason to complain about something. It doesn't matter what day of the week it's on or what holiday or whatever the hell you want to call it. Someone's gonna find a reason to complain about something because that's just the way America is now. Everybody's a bunch of whiny crybaby ass
Yes,
snowflakes.
Michelangelo, but it was Good Friday. You
Who
gotta
cares,
understand it.
man? Who
I
cares?
know,
It's
you know
it's
what I
it's
mean?
wrestling, man.
Uh,
Don't take it
uh,
serious.
no, that's the thing. People get emotional.
Everybody gets
Here,
bothered in
Attack.
America 24/7. It's sad.
here's
You
the
know what I
thing.
mean?
Here's the thing,
You
right?
can't go and say something about Ramadan, somebody fasting, and you know what I
No,
mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's not on the same lines. It just depends, who you
Look at all
come
the characters
across.
that WWE created over the years, man, and half of them
Yeah,
weren't even
but
the
that's the
nationality they
thing.
were.
It's about apples and oranges. That's back then. That's not. We're talking about the now. The now.
and,
Yeah,
and
That's
that's the
because
what
big
people are
thing.
matters
more
now.
soft
So,
nowadays than they were back
but
then.
exactly. That people are emotional, but you don't put attention. You don't speak on the obvious. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same thing with Virgil. You know what I'm saying? Virgil. We see what they were doing to Virgil, what he symbolized and stuff. But you know what I mean? You don't see nobody boycotting that for him. You know what I mean?
No, no, and that's the thing. Like to compare back then to now, it's like there's a lot of things that you can't do back then that you can do now. But here's the thing: you also have people tuning in for the first time. There's a lot of new people that are tuning in to this product for the first time that are not your avid wrestling fans who know how to gauge it and who know how to accept it and understand that okay, this is storyline, this is real, this is not real. Like you have those first time people that are watching this, and then you also got the fact that okay, yes, Good Friday is big. I mean, it's just like Ramadan. It's just like it's just like okay, if AEW would have did something to the effect where it was talking about Hanukkah, and they talked about it, or they did something in a negative way about Hanukkah, then yes, you would have a lot of people that of Jewish descent that would have been pissed off. The same thing if it was something done, something done doing Black History Month, and they did some type of a storyline where they shitted on all the black characters and things like that. But you know, moving on from that, man, we got to move on from that. I mean, Rampage also had a couple more few things that did pop off. Besides that, you also had on Rampage. I want to say, what was it? Not the
Yo, y'all take
not
it at home. I gotta head out real quick. Y'all take it at home. Y'all be safe.
uh not the damn it. You also had that popped off from there. Moving on from there, you had the Battle of the Belts, which I think was another programming. You know what I'm saying? It was like another way to put your product on television. But speaking of Rampage, they put that on Friday at 7 o'clock, and the ratings were lower than the week previous. So they went from 600,000 to 433,000 people watching at 7 p.m.
I
But
mean,
then
this isn't
again,
the first time they did it this early, though. They've done this before, so
yeah, they've done it before, and it's hopefully it's a way to draw in new viewers, and I hope they do. I really hope they do draw in viewers. I hope it does happen. You have Ruby Soho, who picked up the W. It's inside the Owen qualifier on Rampage as well. It's about
this was
damn
a good
time.
match, though. This is probably the one I actually really enjoyed because the twin sisters, man, they were basically pulling the same shit that the Bellas used to do when they came in, like do the sister swap. So when one went under the ring, the other one popped up. They were doing
Yeah,
the twin
twin
magic
magic.
type shit. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. But obviously they didn't succeed, and Ruby Soho came out on top of that match. So it was a really damn good match, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. It's about time that Ruby is getting a chance. Because let's be honest, I mean, she debuted it, then she fell flat. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that that happened. You had the Battle of the Belts. You had Dalton Castle. Shout out to the Tate twins out there, on AEW television. So that was a beautiful thing. But you had him going up against Dalton Castle, and of course Gresham comes out on top with the W, still your Ring of Honor champion, and it looks like they're keeping the old school belts from ROH. So they're getting rid of the new look titles that they had, that the ones they had just recently made, which I thought, to me, those were very good looking titles. I mean, it was to the point that to me, I think the ROH championship looks better than the the current some of the current championships. But yeah, they went old school with the titles. So Gresham comes out on top, and that was Dalton Castle's debut in AEW. So what do you think about the overall match?
I thought it was great, man. Like, they're really doing something with Gresham. Like, most of us would have never thought would have happened because, he was just the guy that popped up on every, weekly show for ROH before Tony Khan took it over. And, he's pretty much like one of the, we'll just say he's kind of like the heart and soul of that company, man. He like literally changed his game up. He's like a fan favorite. Everybody loves Gresham now. I mean, didn't he wrestle with that, that company that you go to during shows and stuff like that, the one in Columbus? Doesn't he come around there?
Well, you're talking about Ohio Wrestling Alliance. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been, yeah, he's been there. He was there for the first ever show that we did there inside. I think this was the first show after the pandemic that we ended up doing. So that one was real nice.
His
But
face is everywhere, to be honest, man. He's been on Impact. He's been on AEW. He's been on Ring of Honor pretty much till, the company took their like, hiatus and stuff like that. So, I mean, he's doing big things, and I think he's going to go even further in the company as the years come on.
yeah, but it's all about booking, and no one's ever going to be, the best booker. You also had the championship match between Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky for the TV championship, and Sammy comes out with the W. So he's the first, not the first ever. No, is he the first ever three-time TNT champion? How many times did Cody hold it? I'm trying to remember. I think Cody held it twice.
Yeah, I think Cody only had it twice.
Yeah, so I think he's the first ever three-time TNT champion. So shout out to the Spanish God, end up winning the TNT championship back. Uh, you had you also had going up for Battle of the Belts. You had Thunder Rosa going up against Nyla Rose. Thunder Rosa comes out on top. So I thought that was also good. I mean, I don't see Thunder Rosa losing the championship anytime soon. If she does lose it, it'll probably either be the Jade or Britt Baker. The only two people I see are losing the two.
So wait, would that
So
mean Jay would have like, double belts then? Like she'd have two belts? Like, she'd be walking around?
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it, but I think, and this is what I'm thinking. I mean, of course, the TBS championship is their mid card championship for the women.
Fuse it, just, unify it together and make some massive flashy
Nah,
belt for the women?
nah, I don't think they're gonna do that again because they just made another version of the AEW championship belt. So
Yeah.
I think they're gonna keep that. They're gonna keep the TBS championship as their mid card championship. And
I
I'm
don't think
not.
they're going to get anybody that's going to be able to compete with Jade for a while. That's why I think if she does take that off of Thunder Rosa, that's probably the only formidable opponent right now to do it because nobody has the caliber as a heel, in my opinion, as Jade does. Like Jade's just like the almighty of almighties. Like she's the top shit right now in the women's division. Like there's nobody else that's even close to what she does.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, they're gonna have to build up a face to do it. So we'll see what happens with that. But we do have SmackDown on the horizon. SmackDown was almost a continuation of what happened on Raw. I mean, with the whole tag team championship unification, you had of course RK Bros showing up on SmackDown, and they end up having Riddle going up against Jimmy Uso, which of course Riddle ended up winning with this spectacular RKO. Uh, then you also have Ricochet going up against Jinder Mahal, who ended up, of course, Ricochet ended up coming out with the W. He's now hitting the shooting star press, which I'm not mad at. You know, if anyone's gonna make it look pretty, it's gonna be him. The
And
only
if
other
you didn't
person,
know, Billy Kidman is one of the guys behind the scenes, so I'm sure he's proud of him too because that was his finisher back in WCW. So
yeah,
he definitely co-signed for that one.
the only other person that hit it better than Billy Kidman, to my knowledge, was Paul London.
Oh yeah,
Paul London. I mean, of course, you had Evan Bourne, aka Matt Sydal. He had a nice one, but I think definitely if you're looking at Paul London's one, it was real nice. Uh, Moving on from there, as far as SmackDown goes, I mean, we don't know what's going to become of Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte ended up putting Drew Gulak inside the figure eight. He was auditioning to be, a broadcast respondent. Charlotte does need to fight men at this point. She's pretty much ran through everybody on the women's side of SmackDown. She's ran through everybody. So the only other thing I could see happening is them unifying the women's championship if they're going to do this full on, unification of the belts. That's the only way I see that. Uh, but what do you think? Should Charlotte fight men, or should she just go ahead and have a match with Bianca Belair to unify the women's championship?
I don't think we need to have a reverse Andy Kaufman, in my personal opinion, man. Like Andy Kaufman used to fight women. I don't think we need Charlotte fighting men. I mean, we already know she's like, we'll just say an A-lister in pro wrestling right now, even though personally I don't think she needs it. Like she don't need a championship. I think they need to put Bianca Belair above all everybody else in that division. Bianca Belair, she's back where she needs to be right now, but I think she needs to be the one to take that off of Charlotte, and Charlotte needs to go take a back seat for a while because she doesn't need any more. She don't need any more shine than she already has. We already know where she comes from. We know who her family is. I mean, we just don't need no more Charlotte. We need some more Bianca. Bianca needs to take that and unify that belt and be the almighty in that women's division.
But here's the thing, like you definitely need somebody else to come up from underneath her.
And
So
there will be, because I mean, granted, right now NXT is the foundation for bringing women up and men up to the main rosters, but I just don't think we need Charlotte anymore. Like they've been oversaturating us with her for like the last so many years. Like they've just been throwing her in the face, and most people are talking about her mic skills. And I mean, granted, she's a good wrestler, 100%, but I just don't see her needing to be the face of the women's division anymore. Like she already put her time in. She needs to go do something else. They need to start building more
well,
women.
I wouldn't say do something else. I mean, she's at that stage right now, and it's only in such a short amount of time that she's been able to do this. But I think at this point they need to bring in more women, and bring in more women that's going to be able to not only one be able to be groomed by Charlotte, but at the same time being able to once again get that rub and be able to become a bigger face. I mean, you got Raquel Gonzalez slash Raquel Rodriguez, who could possibly be that next person. I mean, she's athletic, she's tall, good looking. So that's somebody that you could bring into the fold. There's of course Shayna Baszler is still dangling out there. We're not sure what they're gonna do with that.
I think
It's
they
been a
dropped the
while.
ball on Rhea Ripley though. Rhea Ripley was like, had a pretty good run in NXT, and then they brought her up to the main roster. She was doing big things, and then I think all of a sudden it's just like they just dropped it on her. Like even Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch really isn't what she used to be when, before she became pregnant and dropped that title, and then, Asuka took over. Like where the fuck is Asuka? Is Asuka coming back anytime soon? Like I would love to see Asuka come back.
I mean, Becky Lynch, of course, she's never going to be the same. I think Becky was more over when she came back as big time back. I mean, you understand that stadium was rocking when she came back in Las Vegas. I mean, the stadium was rocking when we just had this previous WrestleMania. So she's definitely over. She's going to be over regardless. I mean, it only took one moment for her to be over, and that's going to continue to be the thing. But right now, we have to go beyond the four horsewomen. I'm not sure if Asuka's going to show back up in the next 5 months or the next 3 months. It'll be nice to see Asuka come back, but I don't know. We'll see. Uh, but from there, we really have to really think. I mean, we do have Ronda Rousey. We mentioned it earlier. Ronda Rousey. She definitely needs to be a heel, but right now Charlotte's the heel. So maybe Ronda gets the title at WrestleMania Backlash, and then now she becomes a heel. But the only thing we've already said mouthpiece would be good for Ronda because Ronda is
Malcolm Bivens, man, he'd be the perfect guy to do the job. Bring up Ivy Nile, and kind of make it like a UFC fighter stable type deal, and they'll all be training under Ronda. But you're gonna have to have Malcolm Bivens come up too, because nobody's ever gonna compare to Heyman. Like, I think Heyman's got too much shit going on as it is because he's a producer and he's also working with the bloodline and stuff. So I mean, I think Malcolm Bivens could be the next guy underneath Paul Heyman being the best for like being a mouthpiece, like an advocate for somebody else. And I think he's got great mic skills. He's proven himself. I mean, he talks shit probably better than anybody in NXT right now.
I mean, that's true, but right now, I mean, I don't think it'll be Bivens for a while because if you take Malcolm Bivens away from NXT, then who do you have there with a mouthpiece?
Yeah.
My point exactly. So it's like, they got LA Knight that recently debuted, so maybe LA Knight could be the mouthpiece for Ronda, but I don't know. I mean, there's a big question mark. But speaking of question marks, we definitely gotta send our prayers and our thoughts with Virgil. Virgil just recently announced that he is now battling the first stages of dementia. So dementia is very real. Let's keep him uplifted in prayer. Send those positive vibes out there to Virgil. And also inside the wrestling news and rumors, we also have the fact that we will be possibly having a AEW / New Japan Super Show coming up real soon.
That'll be dope.
We'll see. And inside the U.S., I mean, we'll see what happens with that. And also some more name changes that may be happening inside WWE. A few more that were thrown out there. So we'll see if any of these stick. Of course, we already mentioned Roxanne Perez for Roxy, and I believe they changed Raul Mendoza's name from Legado del Fantasma. I think his first name is Cruz. I forgot what the last name is. But with that being said, I think it's about that time, and I think that, I don't know, looking at my watch. Hold on, wait a minute. Who just popped in? Medium Daddy Cool. What's up, Andy? Andy says Ronda fucking sucks. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far, but
I don't think she sucks, but
I think she's being held back on the microphone because you could tell when she's on it, she doesn't have creative freedom like everybody else does. Like it feels like they still got the reins on her. Like they're not letting her go and letting her do what she needs to do to, explore her full creative potential. Like I think she can really cut a good promo on somebody, but somebody's holding back on her, and that's the reason why we're not hearing her like talk the most ungodliest amounts of shit on everybody in the ring. Mainly Charlotte, but I think she can do it. They're just not letting her do it yet.
Enough! Silence! I can't take this shit no more.
Sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Yeah, it is about that time to go ahead and wrap this up. So let's go in and do this real quick. First and foremost, got to thank all you all for tuning in and listening to the show. Big announcement real quick. Just want to go ahead and throw that out here. Almost forgot to tell y'all, look, this weekend, there's a couple things popping off. You got AEW popping off this Friday. You're going to have Suzuki there inside the building going up against Isaiah Bronner. You also have OWA versus Paradigm back to Back to the Basics, which is going to be real nice. That's going down on Saturday. Also going down on Saturday, if you are inside the Cleveland, Ohio area, that's right, there is a pop-up shop that's going to be happening. So if you are looking to go ahead and, go ahead and grab some things for your lady. When I say for your lady, I mean for your lady. So you got heels, we got dresses, we got purses. It's going down at the pop-up shop. Make sure you are there to go ahead and be a part of it. It's going down April 23rd. Smoking Divas Lounge, and the address for that place is 10595 Euclid Ave, Cleveland, Ohio, 44112, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. For more info, call 216-258-1235. But let's go ahead and leave you with the PSA. First of all, too much negativity can have you unbalanced emotionally, physically, spiritually, okay? Spread more positive vibes. It takes very little to build someone that it does to tear them down. Think about the logic inside the message. It could be as easy as telling someone something good about themselves, sending them a positive. It's doing a gesture, or you can go to one movie that positive vibe. Apparel, that TikTok hoodie, that COVID, we have to go ahead and do it with good hygiene, okay? Good hygiene is the first stopper and the first combatant of COVID, okay? So we're going to need you to do a few things. We're going to need you to wash your hands, but most importantly, wash your ass. Tell them what they got to use.
Use soap and plenty of it.
And of course, you got to make sure that you do it from face to ass and not ass to face, okay? On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are out this piece. Rest in peace, DJ K. Slay. We love y'all. We out. Peace.